Hi, Aaron.
Hi, Rick. Thanks, mate. We're here.
Here we are again. It's what is it? The 24th of April 2025, and we're doing a training session. We're going to do two games,
Yeah,
and we'll make two separate videos
yeah,
on that. And this first one will be a short video with you asked for a warm-up position. And I've been a bit selfish. I'm
yeah.
showing you a position from actually two positions from a game I played a couple of weeks ago in the Irish League. I was white, and
Nice.
you can see it's queen, rook, and bishop versus queen, rook, and bishop, and six pawns each. But the last move
Yeah,
that black played, you can see rook f8 to c8, is not a good.
yeah.
That's a move that deserves a question mark because white can win a pawn now with a nice, cute little tactic. And see if you can find it.
Cool. So I'm looking at any checks. So rook from C3 to C8, but that's just a swap. Any captures. So I'm looking at the pieces from left to right. And straight away, E4, bishop to B7. I'm looking a little bit at that. I don't know if I should take, just queen take, and then check. I'm not sure. So any tactics? Can I put my any piece in a position to right? Okay. Do we send bishop e4 to h7, and then do we give check followed by something?
Okay, well, let's look at that move. I'm not going to put it on the board. Let's visualize like in a real game. So bishop takes h7 check. Um,
Yeah.
well, what happens if black takes?
Yeah. So if he takes, do we have to continue it? Obviously, we've just sacrificed a piece, so has to be something forcing. Rook to h3. I understand
Ye-
that don't he doesn't have to take. Check and
Yeah,
then
king.
move away. We don't do we win anything?
Let's say we go back to G8 where we came from.
Um, G8.
Let's put it on the board. Bishop h7 is the move, by the way, but why is this the move? King, let's say king takes, and you try rook h3. Is that
Mm.
any good?
And then
King goes
do I
back.
move the queen to D? Yeah, okay. Queen to D3.
Queen d3. Yeah, I know you want to do. You want to go to h7. And if
Yeah.
I just play this one, and I'll let you. I'm saying I can just run away with my king.
Okay, should we play the check? Should we play check D7, queen?
These
Okay,
h7, yeah, is the only
H7, yeah.
move.
Uh, okay. Queen H8,
Only
check.
move.
And then do I take the pawn to G7?
Now you take on g7. Yeah, the only problem is that you probably will get checkmated
Oh, yeah. Fair
like
enough.
this. Checkmate. Um, so, and your piece down, you only want a pawn back for it. So there's a better move than rook h3 in this position.
So you said, okay, do we take the rook on C8?
And queen takes.
It's going to be something forcing.
It's a queen move.
Um,
It's maybe a bit too difficult. It's a queen move. So we sacrifice the
Next.
bishop on h7, and if he takes, we have a nice queen move.
Oh, C2.
Yeah, that's cute,
To
isn't it?
attackers versus defenders.
Attackers versus defenders. A double attack. Attacking the rook twice and check on the king. So we win a rook for a bishop, right? And we also won a pawn. So
Yeah.
that's cute. So I was really happy when I found that move. And
Let's
he
start from me again.
say again.
Can you show it again then? So can
Yeah.
you talk me through? So you're sitting at the chessboard. Talk me through that because it's one thing me guessing and you prompting me and but how do you how what's your thought process through that then?
Well, we've talked many times. Chess is a lot of is pattern recognition. So I have seen tactics like this before, um, and yeah, and then you just you. I don't know if I saw it straight away. Probably, I don't think I did. But suddenly you, yeah, you. Of course, I had my eyes on this battery all along. I said, oh, it would be nice to get the queen there. It would be even better to get the queen up front. So I was thinking maybe I should play bishop b1, the bishop back, and then get the queen up there, and then suddenly you have those two pieces on the diagonal and really attacking him. So those thoughts are going through your mind. You're always looking at something like that, and suddenly, after you played rook c8, which is a bad move, yeah, then you're looking around. You're looking for candidate moves. You're uh, checks, captures, attacks. And this is just a check followed by a double attack. And then if you have more experience, Grandmaster probably sees that within a second because they have seen
Yeah,
it so many times. It's pattern recognition, Aaron. That's the answer to your question.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And then so it's very forcing as well. Of course, but by the way, when I took on h7, he saw it and he didn't take the bishop because he's losing in exchange. So he played king h8 and just well lost a pawn, which is better than losing in exchange. But yeah, that was a nice little tactic because rook c8 looks like such a natural move for black, opposing on the on the open c file. Rooks like to be on open c files, but there was a little problem with it. So I just want to give you one more position at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Um, this where we just were was move 23, and this is move 29, and black has just taken a pawn on e5, and that was also a blunder. As you can see, the rooks are off the board now. We have swapped some pawns as well, but white now can white is a very strong continuation, and it's see if you can find it.
Right.
We're going to checkmate that
So
king, Aaron.
is the first check Queen H3?
I played queen h3 indeed. What does he?
Okay.
What does can he play?
But if he plays bishop to H6
Yeah,
and then do I play Queen to C8
yeah.
and then
Is
he can't interpose the Queen, so he has to play H7 King. And then do I play Queen G8
yeah,
and
and
then checkmate?
that's checkmate. What I really liked is that we have forced black to take away that flight square of the king. Otherwise, he
And
had
I
king
knew
h.
that. So when I'm playing chess now, two things. The first thing is, so the king can move, but the way it gets, I've noticed that the knight pattern. So if I give a check, let's say on f4 and the king's on f5, it can move to g6. Yeah, like let's say that. So if I put something like if there's a pawn there that covers that knight sort of square that the king can get away, it's now like limited even more. So does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And what you
So
just told me there, Aaron, is also pattern recognition. You know now that when the queen gives check on f4 and there's a king on f5, and if you control the g6 square, then that's a flight square that you're controlling. So yeah,
yeah. So and then obviously I love giving checks and being creative and using the board. So I quite like that. But what I also noticed is when I deliver these moves, I deliver them, and I don't know sometimes that they're check. Like when you just did that, I thought, can the king move to g6? Oh yeah, and I was thinking, and then you went, oh checkmate. So sometimes I don't know that it's checkmate until chess.com goes checkmate, you've won. I'm like, oh
yeah,
yeah. I'm just trying to put things on good square. So I don't really know, to be honest. I'm still flowing,
yeah. When
like
when
winging it a
uh,
bit.
when you play good moves, when you let all your pieces play, then good things will happen to you, and then suddenly it's checkmate before you know it. But well done. There was a
Yeah,
little checkmate combination here, and it's quite I think it's also art visually quite nice. You know, this maneuver, a bit of a uh, Z
Yes.
maneuver, and of course, it's nice that you are taking this flight square away, or black blocks that flight square. He's forced because bishop a6 is the only move, and suddenly the king cannot go there. That's also quite pleasing to the eye. And the last thing I want to say
Yeah.
about this position, Aaron, of course, you're not really an over the board player, but it's very pleasing to make this move under your opponent's nose, you know, because he's sitting there at the top of that, and you play queen c8 to
Yeah.
g8 under his nose, and that's the last move of the game. So, um, little warm up there.
Yeah. Thank you.
We'll be going to your games.
Yes, please.
Let's do that.